I'm gonna show you when to repair a nail and then when to cut it all the way off and why you'll do certain things depending on how severe the break is and your client's lifestyle. You wanna check this one out. We got Angela back in the demo chair working on a cracked toenail and some callus removal. Big thank you to Angela for being here and working on some great foot content with me. Let's jump in. First step, most important, let's disinfect those feet. You can spray alcohol all over the foot, and I also recommend the lower leg. That will kill most of the surface germs temporarily, but it does dry out the skin. The odor and bacteria will prevail. If you're looking for a product that supports the nail wellness, use Poto Expert, especially their shoe and foot deodorant. It neutralizes the odors at the source and protects against all those bacteria and fungal. Anytime during the service, if you start to smell or the foot is getting really clammy, grab your alcohol, grab your Poto Expert shoe and foot deodorant, and just spray it again. Step 2, inspect the foot. Look at the skin integrity. What is calloused? Where is the callus taking place? Is there any splits in the skin, fissures in the heels? Do we see any corns? Obviously, my model, her priority is getting this toenail cut down before it gets ripped off. She's been keeping a Band-Aid wrapped around this toenail because she was scared of the nail catching like on a sock or just living an active lifestyle and tearing off and ripping some of that live tissue. Since this crack is pretty major, it's taking over 2/3 of the nail, I'm just gonna go ahead and cut it off. I'm gonna use my Erica's flat back nippers. That way I have all the visibility and I'm going to just cut right where the cracked nail meets the attached nail. I'm gonna cut that right off and I'm gonna have a little bit of an edge. I'm gonna go back in there in my next step, which is step 4, and do some shaping. Take off as much as you can that is lifted without getting into the tenderoni skin because I don't want any bacteria, moisture to get trapped underneath, and I don't want there to be any kind of like little edge or little hang up where a little sock. Who knew a little bit of nail and a sock could feel so violent? But it does, right? Who knows that experience firsthand? Now that Angela's cut all the toenails straight across, we are gonna do our shaping. Let's lightly shape the toenails right here on the great toe where it's a little tenderoni. This is exactly why I do not wanna use an emery board. They're thick, they're super gritty. Most of the time, people with thinner nails or our elderly clients, they can literally feel you pull. It feels like shredding of the nail plate because they're just too aggressive and they just rip up the nail plate even more. So I strongly like working with a diamond file, especially our Erica's files. They're made with 100% diamond. They have a seasoned edge. If you look at our files, right on the edge, it's not gonna catch, it's not sharp, it's thin enough to get into those hard to reach places around the corners of the free edge. File up, shape those nails and get those toes looking pretty again. Perfect. Now with this, if you wanted to extend the nail some, you could do that. There are products out there on the market that if you wanted a more even toenail, right? Maybe it's summertime and our model is like, hey, can we make that a little longer? Because we have at least 25% of the toenail, the answer would be, yeah, I don't see any signs of why we shouldn't. Hey nail techs, it's time for you to get tools that work as hard as you do. At Erica's ATA, you'll find professional e-file bits, implements, and gels to help you achieve cleaner, longer lasting manicures. From prep to polish, we've got everything you need to level up your services. Shop ericasata.com in the link below. Step 5, nail plate prep. This is my go-to when I'm working on the nail plate. I'm gonna use the long and lean, medium grip, between like 6 to 8 RPMs. This is very contingent on your e-file. I want you to run it slow, but I want you to see results with slow. So by slow, meaning I want you to be able to place it on a thin nail plate or place it on thin skin and feel like you can actually take that flat edge and press it into the lateral fold, to press it back into the proximal fold and just gently sweep away those dead skin cells. If you are finding that the skin is really moist, this is when I would grab alcohol and spray it again just to help dry it up some. Some people could use talc powder. I know there's so many different feelings about that. Like I always say here on the Erica's channel is you do you. I'm here to bring you education and my thoughts, but at the end of the day, it's your license, it's your clients. Do what you feel is comfortable and gonna keep you in the scope of work for your license, okay? So long and lean, I am using zone wean, I'm using zone 1 and going in between those lateral folds, cleaning it up, working in the reverse direction, very light pressure. If I know I'm going to do a gel pedicure, I'm also going to drop my barrel flat to the nail plate and just back and forth rough up that nail surface, okay? And just because you see some of these dots right here, this does not mean if you see this whiteness that it is fungal. A lot of times what it is just dry. She had product on before this and we're just lightly buffing it off. I'm gonna recommend when she leaves to just keep strong toenails, integrity, and they have antibacterial properties, is to use my favorite Poto Expert product, Poto Expert Nail Tincture. I put this on every single day and I've seen great results. All right, looking good. Next, we have got the dead skin cells up and off the nail plate. We've exposed more of the nail plate. Now we're gonna do some refining. Angela is working at 9,000 RPMs and she is just cleaning up that lifted skin. Now, whether you're a righty or a lefty, you can use any of these diamond bits. What you just wanna remember, the secret here is whatever direction your E-file is going, you are working the opposite direction. You wanna go against the grain, which makes it easier for those diamond particles to catch the skin and lift it off. Now remember, your toenails are in a different environment than your hands. So doing all this very meticulous manicuring stuff, doing this Russian pedicure, doing every little detail, most people, the closest they ever get to their feet is when they're going to the bathroom and they're looking at them from what, like 3 feet versus like your fingernails, which you can like put inside your eyeball. Keep that perspective in mind because less is more. Different environment, they're not being viewed the same way. You can clean them up nicely, but you don't gotta get every little piece of skin and accidentally cut your client. That would be the worst, especially for our diabetics. So less is more. Keep them pretty, keep them refined with the big E. This is just nice to go into the sinus area, just exfoliate any of kind of the skin that's lifted. I know Angela, she never uses nippers on any of her client, even if it's kind of like waving at you. She has a very diabetic safe practice. So you do you, but be gentle on those tootsies. To me, the difference between a good pedicure and a great pedicure is really being able to customize it. Doing dry manicuring, being able to look at the feet and say, what does this client need? Am I rebuilding a toenail? Am I cutting it down? Am I using a product that's able to reconnect it? You guys, there is so much money to be made and feet and so much customization. I want you to be excited about this kind of content, to know that your services can be so customizable. Anytime you customize anything, you can make more money and get the results that your clients want. So many times we put all of our services in these little teeny boxes and say, you can have this, this, or this. What if you're able to sit down with your client and say, what's best for you and deliver on that? Ooh, that makes me excited. If you want more content like this, go ahead, like and subscribe. And of course, show this to somebody that you know has got a busted toe. Let's help them.